I don't know if you guys remember a game called Marathon. We covered Marathon a lot, an absolute boatload. And this is a game that I have some high hopes for. But when it first came out, people hated it. People hated it. So they made a big deep dive. They made a lot of work, and there was also a closed beta, several sets of closed betas, closed play testings, and I was actually a part of it. I can't really talk about it because it's under NDA, but I can tell you they were at least like making a lot of very positive changes. So it's about a 20-minute video. We're going to deep dive into it right now. The vision of Marathon. It's a bit loud. Let me turn down. I can tell you it improved.
More challenge. The whole point of an extraction shooter is that you're challenged to even survive.
So let's see it.
World.
It was like their big announcement of when it's coming out.
Loud and clear from the alpha. The
world
didn't feel dangerous. The world didn't feel lived in.
There were a lot of problems with Marathon. And, like, I liked the game, and I was positive about it. But I can tell you that, like, Marathon had, like, several different major issues. They had, lack of lore was one of them, but there was actually a decent amount of lore. And I was hoping they would dive deeper into it because, Bungie is good with writing stories. Sometimes they write good ones, sometimes they write bad ones, but at least they write them. Most extraction shooter makers don't. Tarkov's, one of its big draws is its lore. It's really, really cool world. Didn't know that game developers had streamers sign NDAs all the time. Oh, God, all the time. People break NDAs all the time, though, Blaze. That's the problem. And, I'm very careful about it because, I work in business, so I make sure I don't break NDAs and things like that. But, like, I've signed several NDAs for several different games. I did one for Diablo 4 before the expansion came out. It was about the expansion. All kinds of stuff. It's usually done for, like, alpha tests, and I used to do a lot of alpha testing. I still do some, but, like, most of my alpha testing now is, like, Ashes of Creation, right? But, like, I did alpha testing for this game. They didn't say alpha or beta or whatever. But, like, I did, early access testing for this game. A lot. So, but yeah. This is well beyond the NDA because it was with the open playtest that I'm talking about the problems for Marathon. The other problem with Marathon was that the game was very not user-friendly for actually playing with other people. It was insane. You couldn't type in the game. You couldn't do VoIP in the game. It was nuts. It was like, dude, how are you doing this in an extraction shooter? The other problem was the game didn't really know what it wanted to be. It had, like, a really good amount of PvE, which I really liked. Like Arc Raiders does. And the PvP, while it was fun, it was super fucking slow. The time to kill was really, really, really slow. You could run away, you could heal, you could shield, which is, like, it's an interesting way of playing. And, like, the time to kill in Arc Raiders is pretty slow as well. But it was, like, very different than, like, what a lot of people were expecting, and also a lot slower than even Arc Raiders. A lot slower than, like, many games like Tarkov and stuff. Like, super fucking slow time to kill. And also the other problem was it's like a hero shooter mixed with an extraction game. And I love extractions, I love hero shooters, some of them, but I love extraction games. But the problem is when you mix the two, you kind of screw up the balance. Like, and I think this is something that they're retaining, unless they say something crazy. But, like, the hero powers in Marathon, two of them were the craziest. One hero power is, like, you're a character that just goes stealth permanently. Not permanently, but, like, all the time. It's, like, on a short cooldown, you can go stealth for, like, 20 seconds or something like that. And stealth in an extraction shooter is insane. And then the other thing that was really bonkers was another character, which is kind of like the counter to stealth guy, was a guy that could, like, see through walls. He basically had wall hack. And both of those things are very antithetical to what an extraction game truly is, which is a much more generally slower paced, more tactical style of gameplay. I want to survive as opposed to I just want to kill the other guy. I want to get my stuff and actually get out. That's what an extraction game is. And also, there was no solo mode. And there was also a whole bunch of, like, really big issues with the art. The inside, like, this area, this portion right here, this art is pretty cool. Like, you see, like, all these, like, weird, like, giant things that are like, very computer oriented and so on. And then you go outside, and it was boring as fuck outside. So yeah, a lot of issues.
Cal 74 to us is this place that really doesn't want you there. And that sort of survival narrative really fits really well with the kind of the world that we're creating.
Yeah, the surviving in Marathon was like an afterthought. And that was like a big problem.
The world needs to feel like there is something sinister underneath the surface, even when the colors are really bright.
Oh, dude, they already fixed this. Oh, this is huge. So one other problem with this game was it felt very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cleansed. What's the word where it's like milquetoast, but not, like, milquetoast is like another way for it. But there was no blood in the game. We had an entire badass live trailer with, like, really good voice acting. They put a lot of effort into it. They, like, hired a movie director to do it, who, like, directs horror movies and trailers and shit. And it was, like, the best intro, that trailer. But, they showed, like, all these people dying with, like, blue blood and shit. You play the game, and you just blow up into pixels. There's no bodies left. You leave a backpack on the ground. It felt very sanitized. That's the word I'm looking for. Very, very sanitized. Made for like a teen audience or some bullshit like that. And I don't know if you know, but like any fucking extraction shooter worth its salt kind of like leans into the violence. Even if it's like slightly cartoonish, like, Arc Raiders is a bit cartoony. And so it's able to ride that line between, teen and mature. But still, this is like, that's a third-person game. This is a first-person game. This is trying to, like, grab people who play Tarkov. This is trying to grab people who also play games like Destiny. This is trying to grab people who play games like, other hero shooters and stuff, some of which have some of those more mature themes as well. So having no blood, even this really cool-looking blue blood, which was in the trailer, was fucking nuts. And you had no bodies. Everything dissolved into, like, pixels. It was stupid.
When the colors are really bright.
So it looks like they fixed that. That's a huge thing.
We want to marry the classic Bungie game feel, where you are blasting stuff in the face and it feels amazing, with the sort of high tension of the survival genre.
While that's a really good idea, I do want to point out one of the big issues of Marathon, one of the big issues that people had, was that, they've proven it with the later games for, Halo and leaving Halo. They proved it with, like, all the screw-ups that they've had with Destiny 1 and 2. It's not the same Bungie. Sadly, it's not the same Bungie.
If you want good loot, you have to go to places where you're taking risks. Either risks from other players or risks from AI.
That is a typical extraction game, yes.
Now, Rook with Prox Chat and the way the game works and sort of how tense it is, I think all those things work together really well.
What is Rook with Prox Chat? What does that mean, Rook?
So we have
maybe they'll explain that
now. Rook with
scavenger mode. Does that mean solo queue? I don't know.
Prox Chat and the way the game works and sort of how tense
we'll see.
It is, I think all those things work together really well.
Okay.
We have another Rook. Oh, stop that. No. Sorry.
So they did finally add full proximity chat. Thank God. Because their reasoning behind it was something that put me very on edge. They were like, oh, we don't really know how to balance the toxicity of proximity chat. And it's like, bro, if you say this for a game like League of Legends or something like that, it's a different story. Because, like, that's a different kind of game. But not having proximity chat in an extraction shooter is fucking nuts. It's absolutely beyond idiotic. Like, that made me worry about the game design of the game. There's very few things that make you worry about, like, on a fundamental level, do these guys know what they're fucking doing? And that was one of them. Like, oh my God, someone's going to say the F word in proximity chat. Oh my God. It's kind of like what it felt like. Some kind of, like, very sanitized bullshit. It was very, 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 very weird. And also, something I have a problem with in games in general, you should never remove actual things from a game You know, whether it's like a game effect or a game mechanic or anything, because you can't balance it for toxicity. That means you need to hire more QA staff, actually open up your fucking purse strings, and actually fucking do your job. If I lose out on a game mechanic because you can't fucking actually moderate the game mechanic, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. I don't want to lose out on being able to play another part of my video game because you can't do your fucking job. Blizzard does this shit all the time. They're like, oh, well, you know, you can no longer use this emote because you're using this emote in a toxic way. And it's like, dude, if you find it toxic, ban people. If you don't, then shut the fuck up and let us use the spit emote. They got rid of the spit emote, man. I hate it when games do this shit. And, like, that was another thing. Like, the vision of Marathon. Who were they trying to sell Marathon to previously? Because now it looks like they're trying to sell it to people that played Halo. They grew up on Halo. They played Destiny and Destiny 2 and stuff. They're you know, and so it's like the older crowd. People who play extraction games are generally the older crowd. You know, not always, but generally. Because, like, you see Arc Raiders, and everyone plays Arc Raiders, but still, extraction games are a more hardcore style of gameplay. It's not little kids playing it. So if you're trying to market your game, because some fucking marketers at Bungie, in this case, said, hey, you know, if you hit the under 15 crowd, you're going to have to make your game a lot more of a, you know, fucking pussy-ass game. But if you do that, you're going to reach a lot of these young kids. And, you know, that's a lot more people that'll play your game. Fuck that. You need to actually find the audience that is willing to play a game like this. Was the Marathon the one stealing art? Yes, it was. Yeah, that was a big thing as well. There was a lot of big issues, and they did fix that situation as well. Angry by Default. I need to look into that, and I need to, like, I did cover that in a large video. So yeah, actually, if you do like this content, for anyone in here who likes you know, the content of covering a game like Marathon and so on, I did cover Marathon a lot. And I did make many videos about it. So I will link them in the description below on YouTube. But in the meantime, you know, I did cover the actual gameplay. I put some gameplay of Marathon up. I covered the entire early access process, the one that was open for people to show and showcase. I did make a video about that, my experience with it and so on. And I also did cover the stealing art situation. I think I made like 2 separate videos about that. So I'll link all those in the description below on YouTube when this goes up on YouTube. But they did fix that. Thankfully. They should never have done it. And they deserve a lot of scrutiny because they did that.
The Marathon ship is essentially a ship that we sent out from Earth.
Okay.
Earth that was overpopulated to explore and colonize.
For anyone who doesn't know, Marathon is actually one of the original Bungie games way before Halo. The Marathon trilogy is a game, actually a game trilogy you can find on Steam right now. I think you can still get it, right? Let me check. Because, let's see. I think it's even free. Yeah, Marathon. Yeah, Classic Marathon. Marathon 1 and 2, and maybe even 3, are completely free on Steam. And they were like, they're basically like a Doom clone. Like one of the original games that came out right after Doom. And everyone's like, man, Doom is awesome. We should make another one of these. And Bungie, way before they made Halo, they made Marathon. And it was a really fucking good game. Like, it was... I think they made it just for Macs. And I played it way back when it came out. My dad had a Mac too. Yeah, so that's the original Marathon. So when Marathon, the extraction shooter, came out, a lot of people were pissed that it was an extraction shooter and not like a single player, like narrative shooter game like they cut their teeth with Halo and so on. But again, it's not the same Bungie.
Star far away that we call Tau Ceti. In a lot of ways, it's like the tale of humanity trying to go out into the dark.
But it's a cool story, a lot of cool lore,
and failing terribly at it.
Everyone's gone. Something catastrophic happened, and it's not just
yeah, very early like that.
It's
Angry,
the
yeah.
things that they left behind.
The modern
Mad
race to
Raving,
Tau
welcome.
Ceti
Good to see you.
all started when a mysterious signal came through the galaxy.
The turmoil
So they're sharing more of the lore.
gives rise to all these corporations.
I really like this because this video, this is like a very big, I think they had like a come to Jesus moment because they had spent like, you know, $200 million on making this game at this point, and that's without the delays. And, you know, they had the playtests, which were an abject fucking failure due to their, you know, really, you know, dichotomous game design. They had the art stealing debacle and everything. And I think they had to, like, sit down and be like, all right, what are we trying to be? And let's really hone in on that. And I think they've figured it out. Or at least this is a good sign. Because what are they doing right now? We're 2 minutes into the video, and they're spending a lot of time actually talking about the world and the lore. They're really trying to build this thing up into something that is unique from all of the other extraction games. That was one of the big problems. Everyone played the playtest, not everyone, but a bunch of people played the playtest for Marathon, like I did. And while I enjoyed it, there was also that question hanging in the balance of, why would I play this over other games? And now that Arc Raiders is out, I think Arc Raiders lit a fire under Bungie's ass, because I think they realized if they come out, I think the release date is going to be revealed later. I think rumors were that it was going to be like spring of 2016, sorry, it's 2026. People are thinking March, April, something like that. So when they were trying to think of a release date and stuff, I think they had to realize we're going to go up against an Arc Raiders that has stolen players from Battlefield 6, from Call of Duty, from Escape from Tarkov, from Marvel's Rivals. It's hit all of those, like, several major groups of gamers and actually sustain that growth. If you go to Arc Raiders right now on Steam alone, let's see the Steam DB of Arc Raiders right now, because this is what it's going to have to compete against. Many other games, Tarkov has 1.0, many extraction games are on the market right now. But one of the most impressive, obviously, is the lovely Arc Raiders. And Arc Raiders is still hitting 24-hour peaks of 272,000 players. 272,000. And that is not even like, we had the major update a while ago. The big update with like the new zone and everything like that, that was a while ago. Arc Raiders is still fucking killing it. It had peaks of almost 500,000. And that is not including console. And this game is being marketed towards PC and also console. There will be console cross-play. So that is a huge thing. This is going up directly versus Arc Raiders. So they have to differentiate, why would you play Arc Raiders over this? Or, sorry, why would you play this over Arc Raiders? And one thing is, I love Arc Raiders. There's not much lore.
That were
you crossplay?
In
It is what it is.
Project. Now going, what happened? How do we recoup our investment?
And then layered on top of that is the greed and corruption of all of the different factions and corporations and revolutionary groups.
And if there's someone who knows greed, it is Bungie. I gotta say that. Bungie is one of the greediest fucking scum-sucking companies out there. Remember this, guys. Bungie is a company that locked all of the DLCs that you had previously bought and played forever. You play them, you enjoy them, blah, blah, blah. A new DLC comes out, and they lock the previous shit. Who does that? Who the fuck does that? That is insane! I've never heard of this from any video game company ever. Not even EA does that shit. That's fucking crazy. Not even Ubisoft does that shit. I mean, chat, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know any other company that ever thought that was a fucking good idea. The thing is, you don't play extraction shooters for the lore? That's not true. You do. People do play extraction shooters for lore. How do I know this? Escape from Tarkov drew the more casual audience to play their ultra giga hardcore game because of the lore. Because of the lore and because of the longer term like progression, the RPG systems. Those two things were the things that really brought in a whole bunch of people into Escape from Tarkov. I'm one of them. Exactly. Tarkov's launch trailer with the EMP was hype. Exactly. People bought the fucking Steam the Steam launch of Tarkov's 1.0 because of that trailer. And like all the lore, the fact that you actually have endings now to the story, you can actually escape from Tarkov, even though like probably only 1% of players are going to be able to do it. It's a lot of lore. Every single quest, Angry by Default, has multiple paragraphs of lore. Almost every single quest. There's a lot of like every single thing is written by a person who understands a character. Like if you know if you get a quest from Prapor versus a quest from Mechanic versus a quest from Ragman, they all have like different themes. They all have like different things that they say, and it's all like a uniform storyline. But each person in Tarkov has his own little storyline. Each person in Tarkov has its own little like bits of lore and shit. And there's like, you can find videos on like the big breakdowns of like, you know, the hidden things, the cultists, and all kinds of shit in Tarkov. And that's what made Tarkov really unique at the time. But again, Tarkov's like 12 years old now, is basically a solved game. Everyone who knows Tarkov is going to know Tarkov. And after the 1.0 launch of Tarkov on Steam, I don't really see where people are really going to, like, as new players, dive into Tarkov. I don't think it's going to happen much anymore. They're not going to wipe anymore. So wipes are out. So that is one good thing in Bungie's favor for Marathon. It's a new game. It's not solved yet. I'll be part of the 99%. Thanks, Arena. Yeah, exactly. Arena fucks it up. True. And guess what? Arena has no lore. It has very little.
In our version of the world, we send people out.
They have entire like live action videos for Tarkov
from the things that are named there, and those people are runners.
Here's an example of lore for Tarkov. If you haven't seen this, let me show you Angry by Default, because it's like one of the coolest things. And I'm not saying like, oh, you're wrong. It's more of like this is like really cool, and this is why like Tarkov, you know, is a little misunderstood by a lot of the gaming audience. Tarkov Raid. There's an entire series that they made on YouTube years ago. An hour-long series that they made, multiple episodes long. And this was like basically a live-action movie that they did with like actual actors. There's an entire storyline, and it's like this random like PMC that is in Tarkov, and it goes through his like little story. And it's super well made. It's like an action movie, bro. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. They put crazy amounts of effort into this, man. 38 million views. And this brought so many people into Tarkov. Because now you had a character, like a set of storylines and stuff, that you were like, man, maybe I'm like one of these guys. Sure, movie is cool. It's really cool. And you go into the game, and like a lot of the events that happen in this are referenced in the game, where like the big blow up happens, where like everyone dies in the bathroom and everything. This is in Factory. You can go to the Factory right now and see all these dead bodies on the ground. And every time I go through Factory and I go to that fucking area, I'm like, man, I remember this scene. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. But yeah, that's the thing that drew people in, for sure. That was a thing that the Raid series for Tarkov was a thing that differentiated Tarkov from everyone else on the market. That's why I'm bringing it back. Marathon needs to do that more. They're doing that here, which is great, but they need to do that more.
You're a biocybernetic mercenary who's traded their human body for a biosynthetic one.
This is a problem, by the way. I like the character designs because I like sci-fi shit.
Body.
But that being said, one of the things that people didn't like was that everyone looks really fucking weird. And I think that's cool. I think the lore on Marathon will be bad. I don't think it'll... well, if the lore in Marathon is bad, the game will die. Angry by Default. Because, like, you might be right. They might fuck it up. And if they do what you think will happen, if what you think will happen happens, that means that Bungie failed. Bungie is a company that specializes in telling stories. They specialize in making long-form storylines. So if they fuck up the lore, I don't even want to see how bad everything else is. They should at least get the lore right. Because, like, they're a company that bases their entire, livelihood on making games with lore. Destiny, Halo, all those things. Even though, like I said, a lot of people that made Halo are not at Bungie anymore. But yeah, anyways, the character designs, some of them are cool. Like, this guy is from original Marathon. Like, this is why he looks the way he looks. He's legit. This guy is okay. He's cool. He's very stealthy and everything. But who the fuck wants to be a person with a microwave on their head? This character looks absolutely dog shit. The lady character, the one that's hot-ish, she looks like an alt girl. Looks like she just came from a rave. An Asian girl from a rave or something like that. She's pretty cool. But, like, besides that, you know, this one's okay. This one's okay. This one is dog shit. Their character designs are rough. They're not the best.
For a
Definitely a weak point for them.
One?
You're not an unkillable god slayer. You are a mercenary, a disposable mercenary. You will live, you will die.
They are not people.
And while that is fine, you still want to be a cool disposable mercenary. You still want to be an interesting one. I don't know what you're expecting from this. I'm going in with no expectations, Angry, because I played the NDA version of this. After the open playtest. The open playtest was dog shit. It was like a solid, like a tale of two cities. One city was really good, the other city was really bad. And so, like, what am I expecting from Marathon now? I hope it's a good game. I will go into this hoping for a good game. What am I expecting? We're about to find out, Angry. That's why we're watching this video.
You are the person. You go into that shell and adopt the personality matrix that is specifically designed to help you do the thing that
I'm just talking about what people are expecting.
To come to Tau Ceti to scavenge it for anything that might be.
And what this game needs to do to succeed.
You've left your body behind.
Because I know extraction games very well.
So that you can have access to the ultimate payday.
With extraction shooters, it is all about survival.
Like Angry, with extraction shooters, I am a primarily, in terms of shooter games, I'm an extraction shooter player. I don't play arena shooters. I don't play games like BF6. I don't play games like Overwatch. I play a little bit of Marvel's Rivals, but even that I've barely played in the past 6 months. I play Arc Raiders. I play Tarkov. And, you know, when this comes out, I'll be playing this. At least to see what it is. Because, like, I like extraction games. I like the pressure. I like the survival mechanics. I like the long-form progression. I like the fact that it's all about survival, not just about murdering the other guy. Like, those types of things are my vibe. And there's a reason that extraction shooters have become so popular. A lot of people like that. A lot of people are looking for games like this. That's why Arc Raiders exploded. That's why Tarkov had really good success on Steam with his 1.0. Arc Raiders might be really good for marathons since it introduced people to extraction shooters. Yeah, you are right on that, Jacka, but the other problem is Arc Raiders is really fucking good. So, you know, Marathon will have to answer in the next, 20 minutes, why should you play Marathon over Arc Raiders? That's the thing. When Marathon comes out in whatever it is, we'll find out probably by the end of the video. Because I think the release date was launched in this video. We're gonna see a Titan-esque fight. Marathon, made by Bungie, one of the biggest companies in the world, backed by Sony, huge company Sony, obviously. Can they compete with little old Arc Raiders? Little old Arc Raiders, as in the team that makes it is not very large, but they made a titanic game. So which one will win? Because there's not that many players on the market for games like these. There are a lot, but you have this. You have Marvel's Rivals. You have Tarkov. You have Arc Raiders. That's why when like the hero shooter was talked about at the very end of the Game Awards, everyone was like, "Oh my god, not another one of these fucking things." It's because people have hero shooter fatigue. And this game has hero shooter elements, which could go to its, benefit, but it also could be very much for its detriment as well. Because a lot of people don't like hero shooters anymore. And also, if you do like hero shooters, you're already playing the hero shooter that you like. So there's a lot of different things going on. That's why I love this. That's why I love covering this, by the way, Angry. I love to see a very interesting storyline with video games that It could go either way, and there's a lot of nuance in the discussion. There's a lot of reasons this could succeed. There's a lot of reasons this could fail. And that shit makes me very, very happy. Exactly. Put the whole thing up your butt.
Want the same things that you want, and it's up to you to vest them.
But there's quiet periods where you're listening for the anticipation of something. Could there be another?
Also, by the way, one big thing is that the outside in Marathon looked absolutely bakwas. It didn't look terrible. There's a word in Urdu called bakwas. It's kind of just like, it kind of means like bullshit, but it's like milk toast bullshit is what the term bakwas means. And so like, you know, the inside visuals were really cool, really interesting, very sci-fi and all that. Everyone liked that. Like you go into this building, it looks dope. You're outside here and it looked kind of boring as shit. One of the reasons was grass looked terrible. The environment looked weird and jank. The rain didn't look good. Like all these things looked absolutely like super early alpha. It looked really, really rough. And grass already in this picture looks better. This looks better. Doesn't look great, but it looks much better. Vastly improved.
In the distance. Did I just hear a gunshot?
Things look muddy.
Did I hear?
This is really good.
AI just alert.
Like this stuff with the sci-fi and everything like that, this is what people were looking for with Marathon. And when people were inside, they liked it much more than being outside for that reason.
And then there's the loud, bombastic action moments where the minute something is alerted, the minute you're in that fight, now it's go time. Players particularly pose a lot of danger.
Average players are doing great, buddy. We're covering a brand new game.
That you might find illogical and completely trick you into scenarios. Sometimes the best loot box is another player that you see along.
Now, this was a problem. The UI is very futuristic, and that's cool. However, looting in this game felt rough. Everything in this game had an item value. So you didn't really learn the items like you do in Tarkov. And there was very few extraneous items. In Tarkov, you can get like nuts and bolts and, you know, a lot of extraction games. You play Gray Zone Warfare, you play Tarkov, you play ABI, Arena Breakout Infinite, you play Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders has a lot of random shit. You get like everything from like wires to light bulbs and all these kinds of things that are for like long-term progression. You have that here, but it doesn't look cool. And nothing is like, you know, easily figure outable. It's not intuitive. You have to look at the number, you have to look at the item value, and then you just pick it up or throw it down based on the item value. As opposed to, what can the item actually do? And is it visually interesting enough for me to think about and pick up? Big issue with this game.
There's a few different ways you can play the game. So one of them is you can play in crew, both with your friends and also through crew fill.
This was the Asian girl that I was talking about. One of the more visually interesting characters. But then you have another one, which is just a new character that they added, this guy, and he looks fucking weird. He doesn't look interesting at all. He's got like no hat. He has like this fucking visor on. He looks like he's made out of Legos. And that's fine if you're playing fucking Fortnite. This game is not Fortnite. And also, they need to change this lady's shoes, man. She kind of looks like she's wearing duck shoes. I don't know why. They need to make these characters a little bit more visually interesting. They really do.
Match it with two other players. You can play solo, and you'll jump into a game with a bunch of other solo.
This is something that people were asking for since the beginning of the first playtest. Solo mode. Why the fuck was there not a solo mode? A Lego Expedition 33? Yeah, there you go.
Players.
In solo, I think the stakes are a bit higher, right? You have only yourself to rely on.
We all love solo mode. Everyone loves solo mode.
You can call out to other solos, but you know, you are playing a tense alliance game where it's really up to them whether or not they decide.
And this is why we asked for solos. And their response originally was, we don't want to add solos. It was fucking insane that there was no solo mode. And they had this like weird, like, we're right, you're wrong mentality for a lot of things after the first playtest, which was fucking dumb. And then when they finally realized, like I said, we spent $200 million making this game, and we're about to launch, and we're going to fucking crash and burn, and we're all going to lose our fucking jobs. That was when they were like, all right, let's rethink all these things that were hard lines for us.
Said honor, respect.
Short seconds, PM me on Discord. Of course.
It's all about figuring out what's your investment, what's your stake, when to get in, when to get out, and when to kill the other guy. Being good.
That is right there at its core exactly what extraction games are about. What he said is like, okay, maybe they finally figured it out. Holy fuck, it took them long enough. And it's like, how do they go through years of development for Marathon not knowing this one thing? They know it now. They at least said it now, which is good. But like, that is the point of extraction games. That right there. That is one sentence that is at the core of extraction. It's game dev. They'll all lose their jobs regardless. That's a depressing thought.
Marathon is like.
I think good games will always succeed. We're about to see a slew of dog shit with AI.
One of the things we've really focused on is making sure the environments are selling the tone we want to hit with the game.
Thank God.
We've brought a little bit of groundedness, a little bit of grit, a little bit of darkness.
We need more. The little bit of grit, like this area, this was like in the middle of the map, and it was like this area with like these like spores that come out of the walls, and like there's like dead bodies everywhere, and it's like, you know, it kind of feels like you're playing like Halo 1, and you're seeing the flood for the first time before you see the flood, and you're like going through the corridors, and it's like all this visual storytelling. Really, really fucking awesome. And this area is a prime example of that. But there was only this one area that was a prime example of that. They need way more of places that look like this. Really gritty and really cool. Not all good games succeed. Well, to be fair, when the fuck did Planescape Torment come out, King Leaf? I'm talking about now. A lot of good games really do succeed. People find good games a lot easier now. We have things like Steam. We have Steam, feedback and stuff. 1999, exactly. There was no Steam back then and everything. Planescape Torment came out when I was like fucking 10 years old, bro. That was a really, really long ass time ago. We were relying on Nintendo power to get our fucking gaming news, bro. That's the thing. Nowadays, it's much easier for good games to succeed, and it's also easier for bad games to fail. Bad games fail super fucking hard. Even with good games, we have censorship. That's a separate issue. I mean, not always. Like, you have really good games that can be ruined by censorship, and it happens, and then they fail a lot of times. And then you have really good games that succeed because they're willing to be different. They're willing to be gritty. They're willing to be like the old school kind of game still. Expedition 33 is an example with this very mature themes. What's it called? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, my game of the year. Super gritty, super dark, nothing censored. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, same thing. Look how GTA 6 will not get allowed on Steam because of censorship. I don't think that'll happen. There's no way that GTA 6 ultimately gets not released on Steam. If that happens, bro, that'll be one of the biggest gaming debacles of all time. There's no way. There's no way. We'll see if that happens. I will cover it, of course, Angry by Default, but I would be shocked. I will say you're right that there's a fight for other companies, and, you know, like I said, I've covered this many times on YouTube, actually. You might have seen those videos, where, like, you know, the credit card companies and so on, they're trying to censor video games. You are right about that. They were trying to censor Steam and itch.io and everything like that, and they were successful in getting certain games taken off Steam, which was an absolute debacle. But GTA 6 will be a big fight. And if GTA 6 is censored, you are going to see a fight of the ages for gaming. Like, that will be a fight for gaming soul. Brown Dust 2? I don't know what that is. 2 Goon? You have to send me some news about that. I have no idea what that is.
A little bit of that mood that kind of is necessary for an extraction shooter to feel dangerous.
Our biggest goal has always been player immersion.
Player immersion?
We're trying.
We want more immersion. Immersion is good.
And realistic.
Spec Ops: The Line, I did not.
We cranked up all the material responses. Feel accurate, feel realistic. You know, you'll get gloss, you'll get crud and mud. And
this looks better. This outside looks better. It looks much better. It's kind of like lily pads, but they're also like kind of digital. It looks very different. This is vastly improved from the early release.
No one of those things is all that sexy, but when you layer in just a little bit more, responsive to light, a little bit more responsive to the player, things will part, water will pool. Layer in all these different things, the world becomes much more alive. It feels like a real place.
This is a lesson learned.
Like a real place, and you feel
this is from feedback.
In danger. Now your run matters.
The foliage looks infinitely better.
Run matters.
Look at this. Look at this foliage. This looks so much better than it did before. Holy fuck. This is like a night and day difference. Because people were asking Bungie, just take out the outside areas completely. They were just like, just make it a set of corridors at this point, because holy fuck, we hate being outside. I was one of them saying exactly that. And I think because of that giant outcry, they actually made the outside look so much better. I love ferns. They're delicious.
I look back at some of the alpha shots, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's sunny or when it's rainy.
It was hard to tell a lot of things in the alpha, bro. It was hard to tell a lot of things in the alpha.
Weather feels like weather now. But like when it's sunny, you get this really nice like bleaching effect. It feels bright. It feels like warm when it's sunny now.
Interesting.
Like we're just celebrating that color so much more. I think it just contributes to the whole effect.
So we have dead bodies in the game now. We also have...
I love how they made it a point of contention to talk about. We actually have dead bodies in the game now. This was such a fight, guys. In the shooter. No, I know. Kingleaf. In the alpha, I have the gameplay up, bro. There were no dead bodies in the alpha. After you killed someone, they turned into a bunch of pixels and melted away. And they left a backpack behind. That was it. I know you're agreeing with me. No, I know you are. I'm explaining more. It's just insane to me. It was fucking insane. Because the trailer was so fucking dark. They're bleeding blue blood. You see the blue blood pooling everywhere. It looked fucking awesome. It looked like a sci-fi, like Event Horizon, alien-style weirdness, man. And then they fucking, you play the game, and it is like this absolute pussy-ass bitch mode, man. It was crazy. It was crazy how bad it was.
Have like decay on the runners themselves, like you'll actually see them
Thank you,
fall apart.
I'll check it out after stream.
Dropping the body stays there, and the body slowly decays.
See, look how cool this looks. So much better. This actually looks really fucking cool. It's like this tie-dye shit.
Over time, as you loot it.
So you come into a room
and the shine was really cool as well.
But you see
like
one
that.
body is still pristine. You know that their killer is probably close, and you are not.
Body decay is quite interesting. I like that. I like that. Imagine if the demon bodies in Doom didn't stick around. Yeah, exactly.
If everybody is just a messy goop, you're probably okay.
That is interesting.
Audio is a huge gameplay component in Marathon.
The body decay is something I've not seen in an extraction shooter ever. Literally ever.
Every sound plays a function.
This is good because I think they learned this from Arc Raiders. The sound in the alpha was okay for this game. But Arc Raiders sound design, hearing the monsters, the Arc, hearing like how they sound, like all the like fucking weird funky sounds that the robots make. That was such an immersion thing in Arc Raiders, and it was something that we'd been missing. The sound in Arc Raiders, sound design in Arc Raiders, is better than the sound design in Tarkov. And Tarkov has been in development for fucking 12 fucking years. It's insane how good the sound in Arc Raiders is. Now, there's some jank with it, like footsteps are weird in Arc Raiders and stuff, but in general, the general sound design of Arc Raiders is very, very good. So if they learned this from Arc Raiders, they're learning from the best area. Ooh, that's cool. That like digital white noise fuzz.
Footsteps tell players
That's
everything.
interesting.
It's telling you what is the type of threat that's around you. Where are they at? Are they above you? Are they far away? Are they close by? So if I'm in bioresearch and I hear a particular material type, I know, hey, they're on the second floor and they're in this room.
And this is like a big part from map knowledge. This is a really, really big part from map knowledge. Like in Tarkov, you can tell, okay, I remember the glass is over there, and I heard the crunch, so he's probably over there.
Our hero is.
And this is a good thing for, like, you know,
we're constantly trying to
learning the
figure out where can music
maps,
help
getting
reinforce
immersed.
What is the vibe and intent of this place?
There was the discussion about the interaction between score and sound design. And I wanted to create a score that wasn't just like full of instruments you've heard before.
This guy looks like a nerd. I trust him with the music.
The job was, how can I make what I'm seeing,
Those funky ass
this race to
glasses?
survival, even more nervous and even more terrifying.
In anything but music, this guy would be thought of as a fucking loser. If he walked out with these glasses and he's like going to Starbucks or something, you don't even know what he does as a job, you're like, oh my god, what the hell is this guy doing? But like in this, making music, yeah, oh yeah, he knows music, exactly. You can tell, yeah, this guy, he knows the music probably. And the music in Marathon, what little of it there was, at least in the alpha time, was very good. That was a very, very good part of it. Like, I was fucking bopping out at the music, man. The random tracks that they released in the, like, ARG, the augmented reality games and stuff, before Marathon came out, that shit was dope. That shit was absolutely so fucking cool.
Or even more thrilling.
Very synthy, very futuristic. But, like, kind of like that Halo feel as well. Obviously not as good as Halo's music, but it had that feel.
Each one of those zones has its own sort of approach to kind of level design and what it asks players to kind of think about and do. You're going to start with perimeter. You're kind of on the outskirts of the...
This is the map that everyone played. This is the map that everyone was forced to play. We basically could only play this map for one of the play tests. And I think there was like one more unlock for the second playtest as well.
Colony. It's a little more spread out. You got a little bit more areas to be safe and to sneak around, but it's also a little more straightforward.
It really brings this sense of scale. It sits like in our fantasy as expansion site for the colony on the very edges of where they had settled on Tau Ceti. UESC are also there trying to understand what has happened and secure.
They need to make these a lot harder to kill. Like, we need to, like, feel pressured by these robots. Like, Arc Raiders, if you fight a Bastion the wrong way, it'll mow you down in a second. We need that.
The area. Death is a part of Marathon. It happens a lot, even on Perimeter, which we talk about as a more friendly zone to new runners. You are still going to die a lot.
Good. That's the point.
Attention, unauthorized runner. You are trespassing.
Holy shit, aim the fucking gun, yeah. It always cracks me up when you see, like, a playtester, like, showcasing, like, gameplay for a game, and they just fucking suck at the game. And it's, like, an official video. You're like, oh my god, bro.
It was really important.
The guy didn't really try not to die?
They were
Exactly.
not trivial to fight.
When you face them on Tau Ceti as a runner, you are the outlaw. You are trespassing.
They have a little bit of this haunted tone. So you can see they have this floating locomotion. They get
They need to make them more weird. Like, more zombie-like. Like, the like, sudden movements, the jerky movements and stuff, they need to do that more. That shit is so good in horror.
sparks.
This is how I feel watching those
signals
fake
over their
mobile game
faces.
ads.
Sometimes their behavior feels almost like
I think this looks pretty okay right now.
Commands from a remote
Like, they
AI.
made a lot of improvements. Did they unsteal the art? They instilled the art, yeah.
Blue. The mini boss tier is more like a lilac.
I'll make a
The
video
boss
about
tier is
that
just
as
gonna
well.
be dipped in red.
They have these tendrils that latch out and leech onto you and start.
They need to have this girl explain everything. She's hot. She needs to explain everything. They need to, like, get rid of all the other guys talking. They need to just have her talk the entire time.
Sucking away at your consciousness.
Gunner? What? I'm right. Like this tentacle shit that the robots can do, they need to do that more. Durandal's in the game, Diddles. This is really fucking cool. I want to see way more of weird shit like this. This is good. We need more of this.
You're getting into Mars.
It's not a coincidence, they put the woman talking about the tentacles. Good, they should do more.
You're starting to understand something bad happened here, and you're seeing signs of that in a way that wasn't apparent on perimeter.
On Dire Marsh, we've got...
Now this is interesting. I like this. This is wacky. This is some like Stalker 2 shit. This is cool.
The anomaly, and it's this strange alien entity that has erupted up out of the ground.
I like
You're
that.
really feeling signs that this is more of an epicenter of where things went wrong on this colony.
It's got a different style of gameplay. It's more like a central complex that is rich with overlapping areas and regions that you can find yourself kind of bleeding from one encounter to another.
It's a great map to go in when you just want some action, and you're gonna need somewhere to...
Like, do you hear the haunting chanting in the background? That is the music of Marathon. Actually really good, really immersive.
Each map has different weather systems, it has different dynamic events that can happen, and your approach to them is never going to be consistent.
Good.
One of the needs that the design
We need
team
more
thought
weird
that
shit.
we should have is more challenging PvE activities.
Each of our zones has these bigger events that...
This was cool. This was cool, but this was like one of the very few things that was cool that would happen. You'd see this like giant fucking like Tron-like airship come down, and it would like bring down a whole bunch of goons, and you'd have to fight the robots.
don't happen every session, but when they do happen, you'll know they're happening.
Building these types of events into the world shake up your run and make you decide, like, what do you want to risk?
I like how the bomb has a
Then you
smiley
get to
face.
Outpost.
What a sweet little guy.
Outpost is a more functional, thriving UESC facility. There's scan drones flying overhead, the UESC's everywhere, there's tripwires, there's a weather hazards. It's a lot of stuff
Interesting.
you're up against from the
That's
get-go.
cool.
Outpost is a
I like
smaller
that.
map, but it's also a lot more vertical. It's built around a specific building that we call the pinwheel.
This is just this meat grinder.
This is cool. I like this design. Like a big tower that's much more vertical. That is interesting. This was not in the playtest that I remember for sure. I like this. This is good. Give me more of this kind of shit.
Of a structure that's like a corkscrewed building that has nooks and crannies and hallways, and it just becomes a real, real cluster when you're in there fighting.
The floor is raised on
At least the
Outpost,
guy's aiming
nothing
better
is
in this
free.
one. Isn't that right, Jacka?
The pinwheel hosts some of the best loot opportunities.
But it's noisy, players are going to know you're doing it, so there's extra risks.
Okay. That's interesting. So, like, the vibe of, like, this opening, not this part, but, like, this, with this, like, the shattered glass, there's, like, a plant inside, and it's, like, lighting up and turning off and stuff. This is good. This is why people like the insides of Marathon so much. This is a really cool vibe.
The character you're going to spend the most time with is the zones.
This is a good understanding.
Each personality
That's true.
in every zone. That's the storytelling every player gets.
Every time you're on the planet, you can look up and see the ship floating and looming in the skybox, reminding you of why this place even exists, but also reminding you that something up happened here, and you got to figure out what it was.
That weirds me out. Why would you censor the word fuck? People say fuck all the time. What the fuck? It's very weird to see a game company that specializes in making rated M for mature shooters, and then they censor them saying the word fuck. That weirds me out, man. That makes me think, what are these guys thinking? That is that same energy of, oh, we don't want to have our characters that you kill turn into blood. Oh man, proximity chat is too toxic. It's like, bro, dude, we're not playing Fortnite. We're playing an extraction fucking shooter. Get your head in the game. You're talking to people that are adults. Treat us like adults. Don't insult our intelligence. That shit is weird. That shit weirds me out, man. That shit weirds me out.
Marathon has a lot of loot in it. It's a huge pie. There's a ton of different implants at every rarity. There's a ton of different runner cores. For each runner, there's
exactly seconds. Yeah, I agree with you.
Like it's just an outlandish number of items to collect.
And one of the reasons, like I said, the first playtest of Marathon felt so bad was it felt very sanitized. It felt very censored. No blood, no bodies, no prox chat, all kinds of other things as well. It felt very, very like, you go to a marketer and he says, okay, in order to hit the youngest people on the market, you're gonna have to do this, 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 and this, and this. And that is the only way you'll be able to hit like 90% of the market. Why are you trying to hit 90% of the market? It's a fucking extraction shooter. 90% of the people are not going to fucking play an extraction shooter. Are you insane? You got to market it to people who are actually going to play a fucking extraction shooter.
Going to be a really interesting period of discoverability where players sort of figure out what are the pieces that I have available to me, how do I get them, and how do I put them together into something that's awesome.
And the guns look okay. They look cool. They are sci-fi, but they're a little too blocky. I wish they looked a little bit more gun-like.
Go through and look at how many iconic weapons have come from Bungie. And it's something that we really want to hold up and make sure that we're matching that legacy.
Visually, they're all really, really distinct.
I didn't be afraid to be done with
Marathon.
it. Well, no, what I said was that they need to actually have a QA staff that moderates. And if they can't afford to do that, they have no business making a game like this. That's really what it is. I like how weird everything looks. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Make it weird, for sure.
But we wanted animation-wise, a majority of them to feel recognizable. So when you put them in your hands, you knew how to use them.
Mods will basically allow you to increase certain stats on the guns, that battery SMG. The gold mod, full-blown, turns it into the needlet. The sidearm is a gun that is effective in close quarters, but maybe not too much outside of that.
Halo Magnum.
But the gold mod on this gun puts a suppressor on it, and then when I kill something with this gun, I turn invisible.
That's interesting. So the mods can actually change how the gun works, like completely. That's interesting.
And then that lends it to other build crafting if I want to sort of stack into how invisible can I be.
Did she just get one tap by a pistol? In a game where you can stealth? That seems a little problematic. I hope so. Yeah, well, the part that I have an issue with is not that she got one shot, Jacka. The part that I'm worried about is that invisibility is so common in this game. Like, that is very rough for an extraction game. That is a very hard mechanic to balance around. And, if you know anything about Destiny, they don't balance particularly well in that game. And that's a very big problem for a competitive game.
Even some weapon mods can improve stats and your runner shell's capabilities. So there's lots of different ways to raise the floor of your stats so that you're coming into each run strong.
Yeah, exactly. World shittiest visibility while having one-shots, yeah. The fuck was that? I think he rezzed them. He was able to res them both.
Runner shells are a bioprinted body that you inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti to scavenge the ruins of the Lost Colony.
They need to make these characters look cooler, man. Like this is the coolest looking character, but she has like fucking like kitchen cleaning gloves on. It's just like, bro, half this character looks really cool. Like, her entire face looks dope as hell. Like, she has, like, fucking, like, you know, duck shoes on and, like, kitchen gloves where she's, like, fucking washing dishes, bro. They're planning on selling cooler skins? Well, they're selling the game for $40. Like, how much are they going to be fucking microtransactioning the fuck out of us, man? I hope they don't do that too much, because that will absolutely kill the game. Is Bungie? You are right, and that you are absolutely correct. It is Bungie, Jacka, and that is one of my big worries. That is one of my big worries. Bungie is one of the worst fucking companies with monetization. You are completely correct.
Each of our launch shells is really an archetype of gameplay. So
oh, who is that? Okay, so they added some new characters. So this is the speedy girl.
Each of our launch.
This is the stealth guy, and he, like, half of him looks really cool. Like, this half is like, what the fuck is this? What is this androgynous shit?
Shells is really.
This guy is one of the new guys. He looks like he's made out of Legos. He looks fucking dog shit. I would never want to play this guy in terms of looks. Like, maybe he's overpowered or something. I don't even know. But he looks fucking dog shit.
Really an archetype of game.
She's cute. Like, that's a cute looking face. I like that. This is a much better character design. This is good. I bet if you scan his crotch QR codes, you get rickrolled. That would be amazing. That would actually be genius.
So if you want,
this is the bitch with a microwave on her head. And why you were playing a lady with a microwave on her head? She's the one with wall hacks. I will never play this lady. I played her twice just to see how she was, and she was very strong. But I will never play her because I'm playing a lady with a microwave on her head. This is stupid. She better have a bigger headshot hitbox. I don't think she did. But yeah, she looks fucking dumb.
Want to play like a frontline tank. If you want to play a rat character that wants to sneak around. If you want.
Well, the problem is the rat character sneaks around as the best character in the game. And it's like not even close. Like, it's really just not even close.
Want to find those rats? We have a shell for you.
And therein lies the problem with the balancing.
The idea there is, like, have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're going to build on.
If you want to play a frontline tank, listen to yourself, motherfucker. You're playing a fucking extraction game. Absolutely right. That is one of my big worries, Jacka. You're absolutely right. You have wall hack, you have tanks, you have stealth characters. These things are not really, part of an extraction genre. And Bungie, again, I've said this before several times in this video so far, they're not good at balancing. They're really, really bad at balancing. Look at Destiny. Everyone's complaining about balancing in Destiny every single patch. Why is that? It's because they suck at balancing. Sounds like Apex characters? Right. But Apex is balanced by other things. It's balanced by extremely quick twitch gameplay. Being able to jump and fly and this and that, aiming is like such a huge thing. And I don't know if this game has changed a lot since the first alpha that I played, but the gameplay back then was really slow. Really, 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 really slow. So your abilities mattered way more.
Top of that.
Cores and implants mold.
You can't really outplay wall hacks. Everyone just went Wraith outside of comp. Comp players only played the tank because his attack was not balanced. Exactly, Jacket. You're absolutely right.
On Destroyer,
it's
I
me.
My riot barricade, and as it takes.
I played the fucking stealth character the entire time. I tried all of them, but in terms of like who I actually enjoyed playing and who I was actually good at, it was the stealth guy. And guess what? Every time I played Marathon in the playtest, everyone was playing the stealth guy. I wonder why. Because he stealths. In an extraction game. It was overpowered.
Damage, it's actually converting that damage into shield back to me.
Oh, so they actually buffed the tank guy.
In combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit.
Because there was no point in playing the tank guy. because he's fucking, you know, he's shining up like a bright fucking light in any fight with this giant shield that looks cool because it's like super Technicolor, but that's not good for an extraction game. That means everyone sees you and just beams you in the fucking forehead.
At any point you feel like you don't want to risk anything, or maybe you're down on your luck and you want the opportunity to get back, Rook's your guy.
What is
Rook
this?
is a prototype runner shell. It's a mode where we make it easy for you to just kind of drop into a match.
Oh, it's a
that's in
scav.
progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible.
Okay, so every game has a version of scav. In Escape from Tarkov, they just call it the scav. In Arena Breakout, they call it like the non-officiated combatants or something like that. Something weird. In Arc Raiders, you have the free loadout. That's what this is.
If you are going in solo to a run that's already in progress, you don't have a team, you have a very limited loadout, but you're not risking anything. This lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then bail.
So when you get like a really powerful gun or implant or core, it is unlocking some new space or new challenge that you've never done before, and the loot is helping you.
That felt better to me than some weird loot goblin mode. Yeah, exactly. I liked Arc Raiders, no scav, you just get junk. Yeah, exactly.
Faction agents are such a big vehicle for tone and narrative for the world.
Okay.
Each faction.
There it is. So these are the AIs that control our lives in this game. And this is where a lot of the lore was. Every single one of these AIs, which one is Prapor? Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, I think like Cyber Acme would be the most akin to Prapor from what I played, like unironically. But yeah, every single one of these, the quests that they would give you were like fully voiced. Really cool. That was awesome. This was like something that actually differentiated this game from the other extraction games, from the other shooters on the market, period. This was a really, really big W for the game.
Has their own motivations, their own desires.
And also they have their own upgrade paths. So you can like work for them, get their items and stuff, but also if you level them up, get the rep up, that they're each giving you different upgrades. Like one guy is like, you know, the big weapons guy, so you'll like unlock more weapon loadouts, you'll unlock like, you know, additional options for like, you know, like scopes for your gun and so on. And then like another one is like the food person, so you'll unlock more shields and more heals and things like that. Think about making myself food? Hell yes, Sackets. What are you making?
The things they're going to ask you to do.
We've got Traxxas. They're the most powerful corporation in human history. They have very long arms.
NVIDIA.
Very deep pockets.
That's NVIDIA.
To kind of get what they want.
So they might ask you to go and find specific weapons or mods.
Congratulations, runner. Your last performance evaluation was rated on track.
If you're a PvP player, one of the factions is called Arachne. They're essentially a death cult. What that translates.
Okay, now we're cooking. A death cult? Yes, please. I can see Jensen having some big AI incline. Sure, yeah, exactly.
Is that they're asking you to go and kill other runners.
The sacred thermodynamics of violence.
Mida is all about destruction. They are going to give you grenades, they're going to give you claymores, they're going to let you blow the place up.
And they are irreverent and dangerous.
Yeah,
they might
booms are
ask you
good. I
to
like booms.
Upload this malware into a UESC dropship, and as it leaves, it explodes and careens off into the distance.
Oh, that's cool. Whoa, that's cool. I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'll let you know, Ryan.
We have big plans. Explosive, visionary.
Each of our factions has an upgrade tree that you unlock progressively as you gain reputation with them.
Here was the upgrade tree. And they needed to do this, but they needed to do this more. Like, honestly, this was cool, but like maybe there's more shit here and like it's 6 pages. If that's true, then you know, disregard what I say. But like it seemed like it was just this, and it just didn't seem like that much.
And along the way, you're going to unlock these capstones that are these special upgrades. When you unlock that final capstone,
they're capstones.
you're gaining
Okay.
access to the best stuff in the market. You're getting gold items.
In addition, these faction upgrades can increase your runner's base stats, and those base stat upgrades are permanent for the rest of the season.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Our greatest patch notes? Nice.
Access denied.
Darius, you know me. Did you miss your last round of maintenance?
Don't search. Don't dig. Don't question.
Darius?
Access denied.
Hey,
Access
it's
denied.
okay. It's just me.
You're not alone.
What?
The Codex is
What is
a
this?
suite of achievements, collectibles, audio logs, things that you're finding in Run.
Lore.
That we're going to track for you over time. The more you find these items, the more story you're
Send it to me,
unlocking
Jacka.
about them,
I'll check it
and
out.
What their role is in the world, why they're here, who cared about them, why they're as valuable as they are.
I'm repeating myself with these entries, but any fears inherent in the scope of this endeavor seem unfounded.
Within the Codex, there's a whole bunch of
Hell
stuff
yeah,
you
thank
can
you, buddy.
unlock. Runner skins, weapon charms, stickers, emblems, backgrounds for your profile, and titles.
So
I get a sticker, yay!
In the world of Tau City 4, all the way through to
I mean, come
becoming a
on,
Vid
man.
Master and taking on the most extreme challenges.
Bro, no one's gonna play the fucking microwave lady, man.
The marathon ship is the hardest place to survive in this game. And if you're not ready to take your best stuff, well, you're not going to survive.
This is interesting.
It's like a heist for a runner. Cryo Archive is big in and of itself, but it's also cold. It's also hostile.
So it's like labs, I guess.
It's gonna test every aspect of the survival game.
The microwave gives me
Probably
wall
force
hack, I'll
run
play her all
players in
day,
ways
yeah.
You haven't been on
It's
other
fair.
maps.
She does that.
You're gonna
That's
run
her shtick.
into basically every type of environmental threat you have faced before. You're gonna fight a who's who of the highest tier UESC units, and the UESC are there in this presence you haven't seen before.
It's really cool because each of the vaults is more successively challenging than the next.
Interesting.
And that 7th vault is where you both are going to get the coolest thing, but also where you're going to learn the most about what happened to this place.
At some point in your journey in Cryo Archive, you might start wondering if the UESC are there to keep you out or if they're actually there to keep something else in.
I like that. That's cool. Please tell me they're gonna have some like crazy bosses. That would be dope.
I think the thing that I'm most excited about for Marathon is getting into the hands of our players.
Okay.
The biggest thing I want people to take away from Marathon is that it still feels amazing. It still feels like it has that spark.
It takes all
You mean that it now has that spark because it kind of didn't before. That's a problem.
the aspects that I think Bungie is really good at. First-person feel and gun.
The gunplay did not feel it felt okay, but the gunplay felt inherently much more like a sci-fi game, like a Destiny, than it did like an actual, real gun game, like a competitive gun game. Way less cool than Tarkov, way less cool than like other games. Legitimate gunplay. That was the problem.
Play the super deep, crazy sci-fi lore, and it mixes up all those things together in a really amazing PvP package.
Really comes down to every single discipline that's working on the game. The animation has to be good. The sound has to be good.
It does.
Everything has
It's going to be hard to make
Bungie,
this game.
That's when the controller fades away, the screen fades away. You're just immersed in the world.
That is what we're trying to live up to with Marathon.
That's a very big promise. I really hope they can pull it off because they have to make many different pieces work. I can tell you from this video, they've improved a lot, massively. And I've talked about the improvements.
It is a mad dash. I'm not going to front about that. It's a mad dash to the finish, but that's when you got to put in the elbow grease and the extra sweat and blood it takes to get this done.
Dude, what is this? What is it?
Let's go.
5 people in the extract.
This is why you needed prox chat. whoever at Bungie, whatever higher up executive, thought it was a bad idea to have prox chat needs to be taken out back and never let into the premises of Bungie ever again. That shit was borderline idiotic. Absolutely, not even borderline. It was just straight up idiotic. That person does not belong in game design ever. Ever. Just straight up fucking fire that retard. There's no way. There's absolutely no way you could have a game without prox chat that's an extraction game. That's insane. Bungie HQ doesn't have an Outback. It's some weird business strip mall. Yeah, exactly. True. Well, I can tell you, this is good. These are positive changes. These are positive things. The corpse decay thing. Let's see what people think. Corpse decay thing. You were there for a playtest? Oh, wait, really? You were at Bungie HQ for a playtest? Holy shit. Oh, I thought you were joking. Okay. Yeah. The corpse decay thing is so cool. So people are actually pretty positive about this. If we get to the 7th vault and I'm not verbally harassed by Durandal, I don't know what I'll do with myself. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my god, that would be so badass. If I can see through plastic and doorways, it's kind of a genius way to balance invisibility while adding doors. Ah, that's cool. Yeah. Like you're going through the plastic like little flaps and the flaps move. I like that. Nice, Will. Yep, exactly. Bro, hitting the G spot on the piano. The glasses guy, his fingers wiggling and shit. Oh, that's so good. That's kind of true. Foliage environment looks so much better. It does. It actually looks good now. Yeah, it actually looks good. Sound design team is staying cooking. People are positive, man. People are actually positive right now, which is really, really, really fucking huge. I'm not the only one who said it.
As to all these corporations that were invested in this marathon project, now going, what happened? How do we recoup our investment?
And then layered on top of that,
oh my god,
greed and corruption of all of the different factions and corporations.
I made the joke. I was like, yeah, no one knows greed and corruption like Bungie. And this is the best comment. 215, Bungie described it themselves. Oh, everyone knows. But this is the reputation that Bungie will have to fight against. Because, oh my god, it is a well-earned reputation of it being one of the worst companies. Oh my lord. Rylo's happy. No, Rylo's always happy with extraction games. I like Rylo, but he's very positive about, like, even bad extraction games. Added grittiness, yep. Everyone is positive. Either they deleted all the negative comments, or people are actually just really liking this new this new version. We'll see. We'll see. What do you guys think of the new direction of Marathon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I think there was a release date, actually. Let me see if I can find the release date. Let's see if I can find the release date. This game was announced before High Guard, but it comes out after High Guard. Is it Concord 2 or Concord 3? Okay, I don't think it's going to be... I don't think this game is not giving me Concord vibes anymore. Genuinely not anymore. I really don't think so. I really don't think so. It's not going to be fun for groups of friends guessing feedback was ignored. I think the feedback was we needed like a way to scav in. Yeah, but let's see what I can find out from Marathon the game. Let's see if there's an actual release date. Okay, so Marathon releases March 2026. March 2026, price of $40. So the $40 price leak, that was true. I'm okay with that, by the way, because like a free-to-play extraction shooter is going to be filled with even worse monetization, which is just something Bungie loves to do anyways. So you're already going to get bad monetization. And the other problem is, like, a free-to-play extraction shooter is just going to have, like, the worst issues with trolls, cheaters, everything in between, like the literal scum of the earth gameplay bullshit. So this is actually a big W for me, man. Big W for me. What is this video? Is this info on the release date? No, it's the same video. All right. So that was the entire video. I think this is, by the way, you mean high guard? Yeah. Didn't that, what would I say? Didn't I say high guard? What did I say? I thought I said high guard. I could have said something else, but I thought I said high guard. But I mean, like, honestly, I think they're doing better. Like the immersion of the game, the visuals of the game are so much better. Outside looks better. Sound design looks better. The characters still look dog shit. That's worrying. The fucking oh, you mean High Guard is the free to play scam? Yeah, exactly. I should I make a video about High Guard? I think I need to make a video about my in-depth thoughts of High Guard. I think I need to do that. What do you guys think? Would you guys like that? But yeah, what do you guys think of the Marathon release information? I think it looks infinitely better. Does it look good? I don't know if I'd go that far, but at least looks infinitely better, and it's like not even close. This is like a night and day difference to what it was in the early alpha. So I would love to see how this game grows. I will definitely play it. I'll definitely play it if there's a beta beforehand. I will definitely play it on release. This is a game that I've really wanted to enjoy. This is a game that I've covered for several videos. I covered the lore. I covered the ARG. That was really cool. They need to do more weird shit like that ARG. We have to like solve a puzzle and you release like lore and shit. Like that shit was so fucking cool, man. So fucking cool. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. What did you like? What did you dislike? What do you think are the positives and negatives? Do you think they made any positive changes? Do you think that there's still some major issues? I do think there are major issues. Upgrade system is one of them. Like, that upgrade system was very uninspired, at least originally. So hopefully they improve that. And also the speed of movement in the game originally was super slow. And they did not mention how or if they changed the heat system at all. The heat system basically made it so you moved slow as molasses. You could sprint for you could moderately sprint for like 10 seconds. And then you just have to fucking slow walk. It was really, really disgusting how slow your character moved in certain periods of the game. And it's not like you're like, you picked up a whole rack of loot. You got your backpack full in Tarkov and you're like slow walking because you're trudging along with $1 million worth of items that you just picked up. It's not like that. You were slow walking if you went into heat mode, which is like slow mode, whether you had 0 loot on you or like 1 billion loot on you. It didn't even fucking matter. It was just slow. The game felt slow in those periods, which was really, really bad. And definitely, if this game needs to fix that. They need to not have that heat be so stupidly punishing for no reason. Like, if you have loot, it's a different story. And also, they need more visuals like this, man. They really, really do. Those are my thoughts in a nutshell. Let me know yours in the comments below. I would say that this video, by the way, is like an 8 out of 10 video. So much better. Like, so many things vastly improved. Absolute vastly improved. And like, I really hope they do keep it up. Because I would always rather play a good game than a bad game. I would always rather see a game succeed and like have another good competitor on the market than not do so. Every single day of the week. Every single day of the week. Anyways, catch you guys in the next video. And again, if you want to see more about Marathon, the previous stuff, the previous gameplay stuff, check the description. All of my previous videos on Marathon will be linked in the discussion below. Take care. If they made Titanfall 3, people saw they had Concord devs, it would have been hell. What do you mean? Doesn't come with bad games unfair? Unless, oh, well, no. King Leaf. High Guard has several devs from Concord.